You know, almost every investor mistake came after violating the fundamentals of our prudent investing rules. So think back about the mistakes that, you know, we've all made them, right? We've all made investing mistakes. Think back of the investing mistakes that you might have made when you were younger. And did you have a third-party custodian when you lost that money? No. Probably not. That's usually the number one thing where people get ripped off. You can't verify the money. Did you pay attention to some guy's forecast and prediction and promise? Did you all of a sudden forsake diversification and peel some off, right? Didn't know the risk in that investment. You didn't have the relentless discipline in a diversified allocation. You weren't able to rebalance your portfolio. So how much pain and suffering could be avoided if investors would stick to these prudent fundamentals? We can avoid all of that by doing that and avoid those red flags. Investors need to wake up because you can't legislate morality.
I believe it's very difficult to regulate morality. Whether that's Vegas, you know, the various and sundry things at Vegas that may not be moral or ethical. I think it's really hard to legislate morality. And that's why moral questions and ethical questions are important. Understanding who you're really working with and what their values and morals are, no matter who you're working with, I believe is very, very important. Because of this, no matter how hard, I've been doing this for 25 years, and no matter how hard the federal government, state governments, the SEC, FINRA, all the different regulatory bodies try to regulate fairness so that investors aren't getting robbed, I see it all the time. Because it's only the good actors that follow the rules. The bad actors don't care about the rules. I saw one this morning. Evan sent me one where it was a Ponzi scheme where they raised $81 million. And the deal is this. You give them $81 million, they're going to go buy tickets on, believe it was Adele concerts and Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton musicals. They're going to buy $81 million of those, and then they're going to let them be in, I don't know, StubHub or whatever. They're going to turn around and sell them, and they're going to sell them for massive profits. And that's the business model. And they raised $81 million, and they stole it all. No amount of Dodd-Frank, no amount of Department of Labor, no amount of SEC, no amount of FINRA, no amount of anything stopped these heinous crooks from embezzling and Ponzi scheming $81 million. So when I see all these rules and these regulations, it also has the net effect of making people feel way safer than they are. Like the whole idea of caveat emptor, buyer beware, do your own diligence, kind of fades in the background if they think, you know, you talked about helicopter parents, if they think that the government is being the helicopter with all their drones flying around and making sure that no one's doing anything bad, investors get the false sense of security that all they have to do is just, anyone that's available, anyone that has a building and a sign must be okay because the government's regulating it all. That's not the way it works. The government can't stop all the fraud. So it's on the moral obligation of the investor to do their due diligence. I hear stuff that freaks me out all the time. Advisors will tell me, well, they don't want to see all the audited statements. They don't want to see all the GIPs. They don't want to know all this. They just tell me, I just trust them. If you're an investor, don't ever say that. You should verify, then trust. You should never just blindly go out and just trust somebody just because your friend did business with them, or just because you play golf with them, or just because they're from the same country club, or they give money to the same charities. That's how Bernie Madoff ran away with billions. Investors got to wake up. It's time to wake up. In my last 25 years, I've seen rule and regulation on top of regulation on top of regulation, and it hasn't stopped people from stealing money. So investors have to wake up.
For sure. That's our wake-up call. Okay, and Scott and I, we have our radars up for that kind of stuff. If a client calls wanting $50,000 out of the blue and that's just out of the ordinary, forgive us, but we will question it. That's our job. And we've prevented some stuff from going out and some bad things being invested in. You don't need to know which financial professionals, right, in quotes, are lying, deceiving, covering up, guessing, ignorant, or fraudsters if you follow the Royal American Prudent Diversified Fundamental Rules of Investing during your lifetime. Again, trust but verify. You can verify everything we tell you. Everything we do for you is out in the open.